Hello, welcome back. For those of you that are returning, and thank you for visiting. If you're a first-time visitor, you'll have to forgive the chickens and roosters in the background. They don't realize that I'm recording, and so they're not going to be quiet for me, and they're going to do that, continue to do that for a while. So I just thought you might like to see what I've got going on, what's coming up, and what we're planning. These are tomato plants that we will be putting in the ground at some point. A lot of y'all are probably thinking, what's he doing putting seeds in starters to plant tomatoes this late in the season? But according to everything I'm seeing, that you can actually start tomatoes late, and now some of them may not get a whole lot of crop off of, but there's stuff I hadn't tried. There's stuff I want to try. There's a lot to get ready for the fall. I want to make sure that we have tomatoes going into the fall when there are so many pests out there and diseases and what have you. I want to have stuff ready to go in the ground, if I have to pull a plant. And plus, Mississippi has a really long season, and I think that if things go the way I hope, we'll be having tomatoes for a long time. Plus, I'll be able to try a lot of these. I thought you might like to look at the varieties that I'm planting and getting ready to go in. I'll probably even wait till next month. I've already started these obviously before. They wouldn't be to this point, but these are what we're growing now. I actually have started one or two seeds over, and but anyhow, these are the varieties that we're going to be using for the fall or the second half of the season. All right, we've got Black Krim, and you may have noticed we already have some Black Krim out there, but I came across a seed, thought, hey, I could always grow some more. The ones I had from earlier were as starch, so I didn't have any way of producing any more. And Black Krim's supposed to be a really wonderful tasting tomato. So Brandywine is the classic by which most tomatoes are judged, and well, I just wanted to try it. Abe Lincoln, got this. Well, everybody knows that Abe Lincoln is supposed to be pretty good size tomatoes, and they're fairly old variety, and we wanted to try some of them. And I realize that some of these are pretty big, and I may not get much of a harvest from them, but I'm hoping so. Carbon, one of those that's Carbon is one of those that's supposed to have a wonderful taste, and I've seen it on several channels. So I don't think it's quite as large as the others that but still, it's worth a shot to try and bring them along. Japanese Black Trifele, trifle, however you say that. I know it's some kind of maybe a French word for truffle, but I've heard really good things about the taste on them. Wanted to try them. The Sungold Select. I looked for some Sungold hybrid, but at the time I just couldn't find the seeds. I came across this, and it's supposed to be pretty close to Sungold. Now those are small, very small tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and we're gonna try them out and see how they do. If we like them, we're going to be growing them next year as well. Plus, it helps. The cherry tomatoes typically can be grown in slightly shaded or more shade than full size tomatoes, or so it might be. We've got several that we're going to try in different locations, just do a little experimentation. Aunt Ruby's German Green is green tomato that you actually have to kind of squeeze it a little bit, find out if it's ripe. Of course, there is a slight change in color on it, You have to pay attention on these, but I've heard good things about those as well. Mortgage lifters have such an interesting story to them that it's all about a farmer who paid off his mortgage. You know, I think it was in the 40s. It may have been before that, but it's an interesting story. He got his four, largest tomato producing plants together, and kind of cross-pollinated several times, and was able to get a stabilized tomato. It's my understanding that back then this mortgage was only $6,000. Be kind of hard to do, pay off a mortgage today using tomatoes, but it's my understanding he sold them for $1 a piece each plant. And last but not least, Brad's Atomic Grape. I have had to replant this one just to make sure that I have some of those to put in the ground. And it may be the only tomato that I'm growing because of how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to have 5 or 6 colors in them bad boys, and well, we're going to find out. You may have noticed we got the first ones from Fairy Morris, then Totally Tomatoes, and of course, I think most everybody out there these days knows Baker Creek. We're going to find out how they work and see whether or not we actually have enough time in the season to grow some of these. Some of these are pretty large tomatoes, and I expect 90 days, but in Mississippi, if you plant them in July, August, September, typically September around here can be pretty hot. With all the weird weather that we're getting this year, though, can't ever tell. We've had a fairly cool summer, I guess you'd say, compared to other summers. I looked at a graph that showed, the soil temperatures are lower this year than they have been in the previous, average of 5 years or the last 10 years. We're going to find out, and appreciate y'all coming along for the journey. Leave a comment. Tell me if you think I'm crazy for trying to grow tomatoes and get them in the ground this late. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the algorithm. It helps ping the algorithm, get us more noticed. Leave a comment and hit like or dislike on it. Truth is, I'm told that the more interaction you have with the video shows the more interest. All I'm saying is that if you like the video, just a few short steps can go through and help us, maybe reach a wider audience. Thank you for your time, and come back and see us. Bye.